Moving out doesn't mean that it's over. Here's what the data shows. And I don't mean data from the unwashed masses, because clearly if you just canvass people that don't know what they're doing, you're going to have a fiasco. But for my students in my direct experience, the data shows that moving out has no correlation to ending the relationship, because I can't tell you how many times people run away from their relationships because they haven't solved their communication breakdown in therapy. And they try to go bounce to something else to get away from their feelings. And then they come back, and sometimes multiple times, because sometimes people don't take my advice and get into therapy. So for people that take my advice and spend time studying attraction, there is zero correlation to moving out and not getting back together. It's funny because attraction works like physics, okay? Physics are forces of nature that just continuously work. Why? Because that's just the way shit works, right? It's the design of the universe. Attraction works in the very same way. There's a couple stipulations. Like you can't use, like once you learn attraction, you can't just walk up to anybody and attract them, right? It's got to be somebody that has a draw to you, right? Like you have to fit their biological blueprint. But the funny thing about your ex is that you already fit that. Otherwise, you wouldn't have got together to begin with. So what you need to do is consciously learn the principles of attraction. Like you pulled it off to begin with naturally, right? Because you didn't care too much. You probably had some other options and everything kind of like, the perfect storm just kind of came together and you got them. But you didn't consciously know what you were doing, except for the stuff that kind of everybody knows, right? Once you consciously learn how attraction works, you can manually edit your actions in real time to make sure you don't do anything that pushes them away, and you maximize all the things that pull them in once you know what the difference is. If you can do that, you can get through this time period where maybe they moved out. You could get through the time period that maybe they have this rebound. And, once you understand how long rebounds last and the fact that a lot of times they fail within 3 to 6 months because they're not shopping around for somebody good and they're not solving their problems in therapy. So there's a high likelihood of failure. You can kind of get through these things in a way that it kind of keeps your ship afloat emotionally, because you got to keep yourself together during no contact, and you can pull them back in. Don't just assume that everything's over because they've decided to move out.